Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to have foreigners who love the Filipinos and want to stay in the Philippines, and Filipinos who want to live the Philippines. So we're going to have a match between a game, call it whatever you want, between these two sides. And I'm curious, why would you want to live in the Philippines, and why would you like to live in the Philippines? Well, I know why you want to stay there, because beautiful people, amazing country. But maybe there are some cons as well, which you're going to find out right now. If it's your first time on the channel, a lot of other videos over here. Consider subscribing, and let's go and check this out.
I've experienced more violence and crime in America as an American than I have here in the Philippines as a foreigner. The privilege that I have here is coming to the Philippines and not experiencing any violence.
This guy is
at all.
Kurt,
I'm
right?
living
You
in,
guys send me a lot of
water
comments
area.
with him.
Lagi siyang pinapasok ng magnanakaw. Hindi sila natatakot. O yun yung sana yung mawala sa atin.
What's that? Oh,
The Philippines is one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
3, 2, 1.
we all agree on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this lumpiang Shanghai or toge?
Filipino egg roll with pork.
Yay.
Veggie version with peanuts. Wow, it must be tasty.
Come here.
Okay, what do you think is the most beautiful part of the Philippines?
I think Philippines is one of the most beautiful countries in the world because of its natural resources. If I compare it to my country, which is Korea, I mean, not to hate on Korea. I love Korea.
I love Korea.
Pero yung beaches kasi is mostly man-made.
What's man-made?
It's man-made. So nakikita mo talaga na it's not as beautiful as the beaches here in the Philippines, which is all natural. Sobrang like
Wow, look at that,
When
man.
you go to the sea, there's parang I really saw the difference. So parang Philippines naturally dami niyang kagandahan na mabibigay.
Lumaki ako sa US, a state called Utah. So desert talaga siya. Wala kaming grain doon talaga, bukod sa mga mountains. So I remember my first time coming here to the Philippines at 19 and seeing the greenery. I was shocked because I didn't think that places like this existed. So coming here,
So he lives
there's
from a
the
long
variety.
time in the Philippines.
Baguio, Palawan, Boracay, you have all of these different regions that have their unique beauty that for someone like me as a foreigner makes the Philippines basically like a paradise. At mas malusog yung balad ko dito kasi hindi masyadong tuyo. So I don't have to naka-lotion kada araw. So it's the
And he
humidity here.
speaks really good.
For me, based on my experience,
I
the
guess.
culture too, nag-aral ako sa Baguio. So mga 6 years and a half, ganun. So there, I saw like the bahag. Yeah, they wear the bahag and when they dance, it's like so amazing. So I see like the Philippines being one of the most beautiful country based on its culture and its scenery.
So my question for the locals is, from a local's perspective, when you guys see the beauty that this nation has, tapos may kalat-kalat sa mga lugar, what does that evoke or what does that make you think?
First area that comes into mind is Boracay. It's beautiful, but I've heard na since it's becoming like so touristy in a way.
Saturated.
Yeah. Sobrang dami na daw nagbago.
It's different.
It's different, yeah. But still, yeah, Philippines is beautiful. I could say that. For example, I went to Bohol for like 1 week.
Oh, the
And just that
chocolate
one
hills.
week,
Yes, I
experience
know
ko
about
lahat
those.
ng bodies of water doon. Like there's a cave, may spring doon or something, may river, then there's beaches. So Philippines, they don't fall short in terms of beauty talaga.
Also, especially Bicol.
Oh, Bicol.
I've never been to
Bicol is
Bicol.
beautiful.
The volcano.
Yeah, the most nicest people I actually met were in Bicol. Yeah, so it's really amazing.
I traveled a lot with my previous careers all over the world, but as a foreigner who lives in the Philippines hits differently because of the community that you guys have built here, the society, the food, the language, the celebrations, the history.
And especially
and
the
for me,
people.
that also goes in tandem with why the Philippines is considered one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like Paulo said earlier, it's not just the beauty of the terrain and the geography, it's the people, it's the customs,
the same
it's
thing
the
I said.
holidays, it's the 4-month Christmas celebration. And so for me, dito na ako sa Pilipinas.
Oh, it's gonna be the second question.
Ooh.
Give the chance. I
Given
rather
the chance, I would rather
abroad.
live abroad than in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, that
Why'd you raise your hand?
Four.
Aren't you supposed to? What you look here?
I'm living here alone,
Okay.
so my families are not here. So time is short, you know.
Yeah.
Like I would recommend anyone to come here. I actually recommend to my friends to come here. But being away from your loved ones is like
Yeah, it's hard.
it hurts
True.
sometimes because you're kind of lonely
Yeah.
and you need like the support. So I want to be near them. But if they're here, I mean, I would be fine with
stay
it.
here.
Yeah, for me, I wanna live abroad because, again, born and raised here, and I'm not getting any younger. So I really want to go and explore what's out there. So if permitted, I would want to be based out of the Philippines,
I mean, you can still go naman and travel.
but still be rooted here. Sure, but yeah, my heart says
Layas
me-
na.
Yeah. Layas.
It is interesting though kasi ano yung ginagawa ng mga OFW pag nag-retire na sila. Babalik din
They come
sila
back
dito.
here.
They come back here.
The thing is, I don't hate the Philippines.
Not
I love
all
it
of them.
here. I feel at home here, but then I don't know. I feel like with my own choices, my own like lifestyle, especially here in Manila, it's not so conducive to what I want to do. For example, I'm a cyclist. I bike to commute around when I can. Honestly, I haven't been on my bike in a while because one, it's been raining really hard, but that's not the worst part. I guess it's more of the flooding situation that happens all around the metro, unfortunately. The roads are just not, oh my gosh, they're horrific. Let me just say it. I don't know if it's a hot topic, but a lot of foreigners end up in BGC. Do you guys live in BGC or Makati? Okay,
Modern
great.
business district. So
You're
there
living
is
in
a
the Philippines. No, I'm
district.
kidding. No, because like I see a lot of those like content online, and it's like, oh, how it is to live in the Philippines, and then they're showcasing BGC.
Yeah.
There's no
So
hate on
different.
BGC. It's just you're living in a bubble. You literally have a wall dividing BGC and Taguig.
Yeah.
Actual.
Yeah, yep.
Actual Taguig.
I studied landscape architecture, so we
Oh
deal
my.
with streetscapes. Like, I
Yeah.
go to site visits, tapos grabe, i-list down mo yung mga site analysis. Like, may baha dito, may pothole, walang sidewalk, may poste sa gitna ng sidewalk. So, parang, ang nakakainis kasi about that is Philippines has the capability to make good streetscape. Kasi, BGC nga, mayos naman siya.
Kaya naman pala.
Kaya naman eh.
Kaya nga,
Kaya. Yung gawin.
kaya siya minsan nakaka-pick
Well,
up
if you go in
kasi
other towns,
why can't we
the
do
same
it
thing.
large
You know,
scale?
the government can
Don't
do
worry.
something, but they don't.
Yeah, I think we know.
I think we know.
We all know.
As a foreigner, I don't know why. I won't say why, but I think we all know why.
Yeah.
Do you want us to say it?
Corruption,
say
maybe? I don't know.
Corrupt.
That was.
Legit. Like, we're laughing about
I
it.
know about this, guys. I know.
Because it's uneasy.
We're laughing because this is how we're coping.
Yeah.
Corruption exists in every country.
It does,
My
yeah,
background
Exactly.
is in finance.
It's
and
the
one of the classes
same
we had
thing I
was
said in a
specifically
lot of
talking about
videos.
different forms of corruption
Uh-huh.
throughout the world and throughout history. It's really a human trait that persists everywhere, even in the United States. But one thing I have noticed about Filipinos is the resilience to corruption has become very normalized, almost like a heroic trait where it's like
Yeah.
we see the corruption, we acknowledge that it's there, pero ganun lang talaga yung mga bagay. So anong magagawa? You know, it's like, what can we do? But I feel like I do see changes.
It's funny because I recently had this conversation with my friends. Basically, the topic was, ang hirap mabuhay sa Pilipinas. I'm so sorry.
Wonderful
It turns
topic.
It turned into such a negative thing, but honestly, with the current climate right now, it's... That's why my view of leaving, that's where it came from. But Pilipinas, let's not lose hope.
Pero if Philippines was hindi corrupt, do you think maybe you'd want to stay?
If the Philippines was better, then I'll stay here. That's easy. Like, one of the things that's the most beautiful parts of the country, not landscape and all, apart from that, it's the people. And maybe if you go to like a European country, you think na bakit sungit niya? But yung pala, that's just how they are. That's just their upbringing. But here, everyone's so warm.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest reason why I want to stay. Because I grew up here. 80% of my life, I grew up
Yeah.
here. So, even if I go to Korea, mapapadpad din ako sa Little Manila. Doon din ako
Little Manila.
makakain, doon din ako makikichika.
Yeah.
Alam mo yung kating-kati ka na mag-Tagalog.
Oh, because
Eh,
they
wala
live
naman
and work
nagtatagalog
there a
sa
lot.
Korea. So, I still look for places na reminds me of my home in the Philippines. So, I think that's the biggest reason talaga na I choose to stay here.
Tanong ko para sa inyo yung mga loko, ano ba yung bansa na gusto niyong piliin kung kaya niyong tumira sa ibang bansa?
Yeah, let's see the
Ano yung
countries.
bansa na yun?
For me, since I've experienced in Middle East, I will choose Middle East. The culture there, it's
I know there are a lot of
I'm so
Filipinos
sorry,
in
it's
Middle
better there compared here. Kasi doon, parang I feel safe. Tsaka kasi doon din ako medyo nakapag-ipon ng malaki. But I don't have any regret when living here in Philippines. Why? Kasi ito yung masasabi ko na na bida ang saya. Parang lahat bida.
Sponsored?
Yeah? Just like Jollibee, bida ang saya.
the
So,
Jollibee.
yun yung masasabi ko rito.
For me,
Happiness is a
if I was
star.
gonna live elsewhere, I would live in the UK.
Even with that weather?
Oh yeah, my name's Rain, so. No, I would pick the UK because, well, one, I've been there. I stayed there for a couple months, and
Not for
my
me,
first
UK.
trip there. I was like, I feel like I've been here before.
Mga past life mo talaga.
Yeah, it's like, am I reincarnated? Was I a Brit before? I don't know. I just enjoyed myself there.
I want to live in Canada because healthcare.
Oh yeah.
Healthcare. Yes, we need it. I need it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can see. I mean, it really depending on where we want to dream of living.
One doctor served
It's because
30,000 people.
what
Are
that
you
place
kidding me?
has is what we think the Philippines
Wow.
is lacking. That's why we have those dreams of ours, if given the opportunity. So
Let's see the third.
the Philippines is a safe place to live in.
Hold on.
I guess so, right?
Teka, wait lang.
I don't
Can
know.
we define what safe is?
Yeah, what's
And
safe?
unsafe.
I think that's up to you.
2, 1.
I guess it is.
Really showing my privilege here. Grabe naman.
Have a barbecue.
Well, I guess I'll start. So, like we said earlier, we are a sum of our experiences, and I try watching the news so I can stay informed. But you see the violence and the shootings, the kidnappings. I've never experienced any of that, and so from my personal experience, it's been relatively safe here. But I'm also, 110 kilos and 6 feet tall.
You are the threat pala.
I mean, I've been here for 8 years. In Baguio, I was there for like 6 years and a half. Baguio is like the most safest city I've ever been in. I can literally walk like 3, 4 a.m. late at night. Nothing can happen to me. It's like more of a community rather than a city. So you know everyone. Anywhere you go, they're all nice. So I feel like depends on the place. But as a country, I think it's a pretty safe place.
Can I amend my answer? I'm in bed by 10 p.m. every night. So wala akong hilig sa nightlife. So I'm never out late. Although as a content creator, almost all of my content is exclusively in the barangay. And I feel very safe in the barangay.
Oh yeah, and I just remembered. There's also places in Baguio. There's like gang members, and I've been also approached by those gang members. So they're like, "Oh, where are you from? Where are you from? What are you doing here? Sumusuntukan tayo?" They're like stuff like that. You know, it's a gang. Yeah, it's a gang, and they're kids. So they're still young. So I don't find it offensive or in a bad way, because when I was a kid, I was also in the same situation. They don't have the proper mentorship to be good people. So that's why I tell them like, we're your guests, so don't do that, because what if you go to our country and people do that to you?
I like that you mentioned that it was kids. I wanted to really talk about that, why there are so much like crimes that happen here. And I guess in other countries too, it's because they're just trying to survive.
In Italy,
depending on how
guys,
they grow up, if they're
baby
not
gangs,
raised in
they
an
are all
environment,
over the place, especially
this is what's right,
in
this is
some
what's wrong.
areas. So
They really live around crime. This is a
I
job.
guess
Trafficking,
Philippines is much
and
safer than Italy.
smuggling, stealing.
100%.
To them, that's a job. That's their life on the line.
I'm living in what you call the squatter area in Caloocan City. Last year, I have a small business lang not a big business. Lagi siyang pinapasok ng magnanakaw. So, laging kinukuha yung pera, kinukuha yung mga rice cooker namin, yung mga gamit sa lutuan. Hindi sila natatakot.
Yeah.
O yun yung sana yung mawala sa atin.
I think the core issue out of like everything that we just said is just the lack of education. I mean, education from like either the school or sa tahanan mismo. So that's just unfortunate that we have so many people in our country who lack proper education. And if only our government and our people also really just work together.
In my experience, I've experienced more violence and crime in America as an American than I have here in the Philippines as a foreigner. In America, I've had my car stolen, I've had my house robbed, I've had a gun pulled on me when I was living in New York. And so, of course, the privilege that I have here is coming to the Philippines and not experiencing any violence at all. Just pure kabaitan ng mga tao dito, which is part of the Philippine culture. As everyone always says when they visit here, Filipinos are so kind and so loving and giving. So I've been so fortunate as a foreigner to be here and experience such a safe environment versus my experiences living in the States in different areas. And it's like you said, it always comes down to education, and education itself is underneath policy and infrastructure and economic opportunity.
Yeah, but there are a lot of kids that
really
cannot afford to go to school,
well educated,
or it's too far away
to potential economic
That's
opportunities.
the thing that the government should do
with its crime level. Because when it's kulang sa education, kulang sa mga pagkakataon para kumita, that's where crime really starts to spread and become normalized. Like some kids and teenagers, picking fights with a 6'2" tall model in Baguio.
Yeah.
So
I love that none of us said the U.S. So if we were like, that's where we'd want to be specifically right now. Absolutely
That is not a safe country.
I mean,
and it's funny because a report just came out. The U.S. has had a 100% increase in expatriation.
oh gosh.
So 100% more Americans are choosing to leave the country than before. It's only getting worse. So
Yeah.
and it is funny. Nobody said the U.S. where they want to go.
Yeah.
Well, you're in New York now.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'd rather stay here than anywhere else in the world triangle. Like anywhere else. My sister is from the States, I told you.
Yeah.
So she lives in Ohio, and she tells me across the street there's people like shooting. Sometimes there's like fights. And she lives in a good area. It's not like she lives in a bad area. She lives like in the suburbs. So that's why it's not safe in other countries compared to here. I'd rather stay here.
And if they are carrying guns, they're hardly ever loaded. Does anyone ever notice that? Or is that just me?
No, I think that's just the mall guard.
Oh.
Pero,
I always see that naka-shotgun sila pero walang mga bala dyan sa loob. And then the pistols never have the magazine in them. So, am I giving away like a state secret?
Let's see.
It's harder to succeed in the Philippines than in most other countries.
Ooh, I don't know.
if you agree, right?
If you agree.
Wow, really, guys?
Man, that was a hard question to think about.
Yeah, it took me some time, man.
And there's a lot of food over there.
Very cheap here compared to other countries. Like, even if you do the same job, same process, like, I'm a video editor kasi in Korea. So, even if I do the same work here in the Philippines, hindi niya namamatch yung rates.
Wow,
I've also had
70-50, and it's
I have
closer
this
to
job.
$2.
My friend
Wow, that's a
has
big
The
difference.
same job, but in a different country, and they're earning way more than I am. So I'm like, enjoy it. Parang pareho tayo ng stress, pareho tayo ng effort.
Yeah.
Kahit nasabihin mo medyo ibang industry, but ano mo yun, parang...
Kasi dito na-experience ko din as an HR. May na-hard akong tao, pero ang salary, example lang, $695. Pero yung counterpart ng trabaho niya, hanggat pwedeng magiging tatlo. Cashier ka na, magluluto ka
So
pa.
it's about $12 a worker a day. That's not much at all.
Ganon dito.
All around
Hanggat kaya mong makatipid, magtitipid ka. Titipirin mo yung tao. Tawag nga rito, minsan parang hindi na hanap buhay, hanap patay. Yun yung karamihang word ng mga
I guess because I'm the only one who technically disagreed with this. I'm coming from a place of privilege. I guess I'm also remembering one of my friends. She lived here, born and raised here in Manila, but she left the country for university. She comes from a place of privilege also. But when she was there, fresh grad and all, trying to find a job, she eventually just flew back here because she was trying to find a job there. She was having such a hard time. one, I guess because she's a woman, but also two, she's Filipino, she's Asian, compared to her counterparts who are probably from more successful countries, or they're like own Americans who are actually from there. Imagine she came back here, immediately got hired. It was so easy for her. Again, I guess really depending where you come from and what industry and also what opportunities you see. And also the people that you know, which that's opportunities.
Yeah, it's a delicate subject, this one.
Foreigners appreciate Filipino culture in ways most Filipinos overlook.
I guess this is true. I'm gonna agree with that.
Parang 50-50 ako.
I should have done that.
Ako, agree ako. I believe foreigners appreciated more than the Filipinos, and 100% true. That question is true, because during the Benga, that's when I was amazed with all the cultures. I would see like all their tribal dances, all their traditional food, whatever they would eat. It's like so amazing. So I was like the only one that was like appreciating it, and all the Filipinos were just like looking and then just walk by. I'm like over there with my phone.
Yeah, because it's something new for us, maybe.
Recording, man. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I agree 100% that we foreigners would appreciate it more than the Filipinos.
Can I just add, I guess the term I also wanted to mention is colonial mentality. So the idolization of foreigners, Filipinos would probably just see, ay, galing US yan, it's much better immediately, versus one from your own country. They tend to just look at their own fellow Filipinos as not as good for some reason. For some reason. Like,
No, there are a lot of Filipinos who love their country,
I'm
but
guilty of that.
I don't know.
I wonder,
Maybe
like,
some
what does
things
it
got
seem
overlooked.
so
That's
much
it.
better,
Some
at least how
things.
we see it, just because it's from abroad. But also, I will fully acknowledge that our own industry, like us Filipinos, we're so freaking talented. Yeah. We're
That's
so
true.
freaking talented.
Yeah.
It's just that some people have to get out of that perspective and looking at us na we're not as good. Call that insecurity of being a Filipino for some, but that's why Pinoy pride is so real.
Yes.
When they're thriving abroad, we get that recognition. But when they're recognized here, dito lang yun. But once it's there, there's a much higher status.
Bilang may validation.
Yeah.
Bakit hindi sapat yung validation here? Kailangan it has to come from somewhere pa.
Yeah, colonial mentality. I mean, our own Jose Rizal.
You know what's funny too is walang ibang lahi na mas proud sa kanilang culture sa labas ng bansa bukod sa mga Filipino. I've been to Filipino parties in San Diego and in New York and in Utah, and grabe yung appreciation ng culture. Because as an American, there's no like American themed parties like to go to that Americans are throwing for ourselves, at least that I know. But when you go overseas to a community of Filipinos in Washington, in Canada, they're so appreciative of the culture. They're cooking the foods, they're playing the games, they're doing tinikling.
The karaoke.
And I don't export my culture when I was living abroad for many years. Like, I didn't have that same connection to my own culture abroad. That's part of the allure, I think, here in the Philippines is what makes it special, is that special community ingredient that you have, kapwa, that we don't have in America. And so I think it's true that when you travel outside of the Philippines, ma-appreciate mo talaga yung kultura ng ibang bansa, pero lalo, you learn to appreciate your own culture that much more. You grow to love it more deeply. And I see that in the different Filipino communities that I've been fortunate enough to visit outside of the Philippines. There is something special and unique about Filipino culture, which is why we live here, which is why I think when you move overseas, you get that deepening of appreciation. So I don't know if you guys have experienced that. Kapag overseas kayo?
Ako na-experience ko during when I was in Thailand, yung kay Pacquiao. Siguro I should say na Pilipino ako on that time kasi si Pacquiao pinapanood siya sa mga television. Tapos pag nabanggit na
when
Filipino,
Manny Pacquiao
sigawan kami
fights.
yun, we are Filipino, we are
I know,
Filipino.
about the crane rights,
For me,
you know?
Being Filipino is also being resilient. So kahit gaano kahirap yung situation na pagdadaanan mo, nakangiti ka pa rin. Hindi mo
That's the
masasabi
most
na
beautiful
mahirap.
thing that I
Hindi
fell
mo
in
rin
love with the
masasabi na
Philippines.
madali.
The smile, it
Pero
doesn't matter how
masasabi
hard
mo,
it is.
makakamubon ka, pakunti-kunti, hanggang sa mag-success ka.
That's the thing that I love and adore.
Diba? Kasi kung mapapanood natin sa mga television nandyan yung si Baha, si Landslide, pero nakita mo nakangiti pa rin sila kahit gaano kahirap. Diba? So yun yung siguro tingin ko na pinagkaiba natin sa ibang lahi. Lahing Pilipino.
Si Vice Ganda, meron siyang isang magandang kasabihan na narinig ko. Sabi niya, kahit anong itsura, hugis, kulay, or kilos, lahat tayo Filipino.
Yeah.
I've never heard a saying like that for Americans because we just don't have that unitedness, that uniqueness of having that. It's like you said.
I guess the
it's
Philippines
the sense of
is the
community
unique
that has
country
been built
with
here
that
through your
unites.
history is something that is enviable to most foreigners that we come here.
Exactly.
So that's one part I can totally appreciate as a foreigner.
Any guesses?
Let me do the reveal.
Leche flan.
Leche? Bibingka.
Oh, okay, guess.
You wanna guess?
What do you think? This is dessert.
I think it's bibingka.
Bibingka.
Bibingka. I mean, bibingka.
Bibingko. Bibingko.
Baby mo, asan siya?
Bibingka.
Where do you think it is?
Ewan ko lang, babingka.
Leche flan.
I don't know, anything ube probably.
Let's see.
Oh.
What is that?
Technically
I
bibingka.
was right, technically.
Okay, what does it say?
You can love the Philippines and still want to leave it. You can love the Philippines and still want to leave it.
That depends why.
Fantastic.
It's hard. Yeah, I guess so, yes. You can love your country but still want to
wow,
leave
it's
because
yellow.
you have,
I know.
That's so pretty.
you know, problems or whatever.
Okay,
Galing.
lovely. Oh no, we're eating the flag. Filipino pride. Tastes so good.
Don't eat the flag.
What a great prompt to end with. Because I mean, like, look, we're literally on the side of Filipinos who want to leave the Philippines. And we've also, throughout this entire chit chat, like, you said how much we've loved it here.
Yeah.
Pinoy pride. Like, we love it so much. We're still here. I'm sure we'll have opportunities, like, in the near future and far future, like, to leave the country. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if it's a win by the time that opportunity comes. Do we still want to leave?
For me, of course, I love the Philippines anyways. It's like my second home, basically. Since I was a teenager until now, I've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I already love the Philippines. Of course, I need to leave it. Not because I'm a foreigner, I don't have my visa, but
Whoa.
I have my visa, okay? No one go to DWH or the government, NBI. I'm good, I'm clear. But of course, I'm not gonna stay here my whole life, but I would like to see it as like a retirement home. So I wouldn't mind leaving, and I would also wouldn't mind coming back because I love the Philippines here.
Yeah, funny that you mentioned retirement because in my head, my plan is to eventually leave just so, for greener pastures and whatnot. But when I think about it, andito yung pamilya ko nandito yung friends ko, this is where my roots are. I think eventually I will return. Di pa ako maalis, pero I will return.
Bakit parang movie?
Sandali.
MacArthur.
I will
Parang
return.
Arthur ata yun or something. But yeah, kasi nga, Filipino tayo, this is our home. So, I think, yeah, dito din talaga ako babalik eventually kung aalis man ako.
Kung saan man tayo makarating, time will come na babalik kayo sa bansa natin. Kasi
To come back
ito
home,
yung
your country is your country, of course.
kinalakihan natin eh. Ito yung madadala natin kung saan man tayo mapadpad ng tadhana. So, we are a Filipino.
Felt.
Tadhana.
I think a lot of Filipinos who want to leave, they think about learning something new abroad, but then eventually babalik. There are some people that need talaga babalik. But yung dream is to go abroad, study, like Jose Rizal. And he came back to teach his countrymen about what he learned because education and all, we have so much things lacking in the country. And hopefully, I guess, just that more Filipinos really have that idea that even if we want to leave, but if we do leave, we'll come back.
Ako yung perfect na halimbawa kasi I love America, but I left America. Kasi doon ako lumaki, my family's there, my friends are there, my career is there. Pero yung napansin ko is mas masaya ako dito sa Pilipinas. And it's part of the reason why I decided to move here and want to learn the language and become fully embraced to the culture because I love it here. But I think it is true that you can love something and still want to do something for experiences, for finances, for love. And those reasons don't diminish the love that you have for where
exactly.
you belong or where you're from. And they always say home is where the heart is, and it's true. I think for many, many Filipinos, the heart is always here in the Philippines. So you can choose to leave to better your life or search for some opportunity, but laging Filipino ka. And it's that thing that unites you guys together, being Filipino, that I, as a foreigner, am so jealous of. Because we don't really have that. Kulang kami ganon sa US.
That makes
so
both
it's
of
that
us.
factor where I think you can love something but still want to leave, and it'll always still be either with you in your heart until you come back, or it's going to be with you until the very end as a precious piece of you, a piece of your heart, a piece of your soul.
Beautifully said.
Palakpakan natin sila, guys!
Beautifully said, guys. The original link is down below. I mean, it's so hard to think about, especially if you're watching not from the Philippines, but from other countries, and you're missing the Philippines in your heart. I understand. But, you know, some of you are not in the Philippines because of work or study or a lot of other reasons. But you always want to come back home, you know. For me, it's so weird because it's weird, guys. I just started this channel, you know, with some videos, and I had some suggestion for karaoke's, and I love music, and I fell in love with karaoke from the Philippines with the voices, and then I wanted to know more, and then it was the people, and I was like, wow, wait, did that kind of still exist in the world? And you know, it was something that I fell in love with the Philippines, and in my heart, I feel a little bit Filipino by heart. I cannot even imagine what will happen when I will be in the Philippines for a visit. Okay, I'm afraid of not wanting to leave anymore. So I don't know. I hope you enjoy it, guys. I'm gonna cut it short because I don't want to make the video too long. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below, of course. And like I said, if it was the first time on the channel, a lot of things about the beautiful and unique Filipino as a country and Filipino as people. That's the most important thing. Until next time, like I always say, stay safe.